G'day, cunts! Welcome to episode number 39. That's right, I fucking looked up beforehand so I would actually know. Of the GreenCast, a podcast by me, Mr. GreenTex, where I usually ramble to myself in my bedroom like a fucking madman. Yet people watch it for some goddamn reason. I don't know why, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Oh, fucking hell. So, what have I been up to this week? I've seen so many goddamn films. I don't think I've gone this much to the cinema this past, 2-week period. Jesus Christ. Studios need to learn how to fucking pace themselves at this point. Jesus Christ. Let me just, bring up a list of, movies that are out, right now that I've seen. Actually, it's probably all been taken over by Endgame. So, I saw Endgame 2 days ago. Oh, no, I mean, I'll talk about all these, or some of these. I saw Shazam. I saw Hellboy. I saw Pet Sematary. And I think there was one other thing that I saw as well. Oh, and I saw Us again for the second time with some friends, and that was a whole experience upon itself. But let's just start on Hellboy, because this almost warrants a whole video, because when the originally announced that Hellboy was going to be played by David Arbor, for, if you don't know, is the guy who plays Hopper on Stranger Things, I was pretty hyped. And he seems like a pretty cool dude, got the physique down, the picture that came out looked pretty fucking solid. I was pretty excited for this sort of thing, you know, a lot of people are saying that they would have preferred Hellboy 3. Hadn't seen the Hellboy 1 or 2. Apparently Ron Perlman's, nails it. Yep. But I made a decision to not see either of those films, so I wouldn't have any, I was going to say premonitions, but that's not the fucking word. I'm retarded. What is that called? Oh my lord. Now I'm just going to get bullied in the comments immediately. Fuck my goddamn life. Oh, it's gone, yeah. Oh, dude, it's on the tip of my tongue. God damn it. Wouldn't be biased? I think that's a better way to say it. Yeah, there you go. I'll just say that. Fucking hell. I'm gonna get bullied so hard. Yeah, so I wouldn't be, biased with the other films, I guess. And Jesus Christ, this new Hellboy reboot is one of the worst-paced films and worst scripts for a film that I've seen in a fucking while, dude. It's so bad! Fucking hell. I was actually pretty interested to see what critics and everything else would think about it, since, I mean, Hellboy is one of those things where, it doesn't have, a really big fan base, I think, well, compared to, any other, comic book sort of stuff. And Ron Perlman's pretty loved and everything. So they released the Rotten Tomatoes score, and I looked at it before I saw the movie, because I try not to do that sometimes, because, again, it gives you that fucking pre-bias. But I couldn't help myself, and I was... when I looked at it at the time... Actually, let's look at it right now. Last I looked at it, it was sitting at 19%. Which already, say what you want about Rotten Tomatoes, but... fucking hell, dude. 19%. That's... At some point, you gotta think, what's going on here? What's 14%? It's goddamn more! And it deserves it. Holy shit. Dude, is there even any good reviews for this fucking film? Let's have a quick scroll. 153 rotten, 25 fresh. Oh, Jesus Christ. And you know what? It fucking deserves it. And it hurts me because I kind of liked David Arbor's interpretation of Hellboy in the film. And I thought, he did the character, all right to justice. But fuck, dude. I couldn't give a shit about any of the character in the film. They didn't give me anything to care about or latch onto at all. Sometimes in filmmaking, it's good to jump into mid-action and then kind of just let the story, explain itself. But there was, 5 flashbacks throughout the film, which, I'll give you, max 2, maybe 3 if you can justify it. 5, you could just go fuck yourself, because that's bad storytelling, cunt. But it was so goddamn jumpy, dude. Which is hilarious, because I actually just, coincidentally, I watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World for the first time last night around a friend's house. And that film's jumpy, but you know what? It's stylistic and it works. And you can actually follow the story. It's just got some really like creative and like diverse like scene transitions, whereas this is just like, if you have it jumped around to like 5 countries in like the first like 20 minutes of the film, which already is a bad sign. Oh, dude, there's so many things about this film that just like angered me. Some of the CGI was not fucking great as well. I did applaud them though, or I do applaud the filmmakers for actually going with a full like practical Hellboy costume, and it shows that, you know, people actually put the time and effort into it with all the prosthetics and everything. But there's just some details and shit. Just obviously there wasn't that much thought put into it. For an example, and it's kind of a spoiler, but not really, but there's a scene where he's, like, shaving down his horns, and I don't know why I didn't realize this. The, like, circle things on his head is, like, his horns that he's chopped off. Don't know why that never occurred to me. It might have been in the last films, or the comics. I don't know. I haven't seen them. But he's got a file, and he's shaving them. Or filing them back, I should say, with a really, like, harsh file. And there's, like, little flakies coming off, but he's filing them, and it's just like you can see the rubber prosthetic move, and I'm like, oh, dude, please don't tell me this is a last minute thing. Oh, and then you see like the father character comes in, and then also helps like filing them, and then like they're not flat at all; they're extremely bumpy. And you've obviously been filing them for a while, but it's just like they don't look like they've been filed at all. So it's obviously was a last minute blocking decision. And no one's fucking thought about it this hard. And it's just dumb shit like that like irritates me to no end. Oh, it's just honestly, between this and actually, let's have a look. If y'all haven't seen the was it Robin Hood? Was that what I saw? I can't remember. Robin Hood 2018. Yeah, it was. Dude, Robin Hood 15%. Yeah. Honestly, no, yeah, it's not worse than that. I saw Robin Hood last year, the reboot with Taron Egerton, and it's honestly probably one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. It's the only film I've ever walked out of, because how long is this fucking thing? Let me just have a quick search. Robin Hood 2018 length. 2 hours. I got about 75% the way through. There was no character development at all, really. And I just couldn't give a shit about any of the characters. The story was going fucking nowhere. And I also decided to go at, like, a later showing because I had shit to do during the day. And it got to, like, 10 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm tired. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to stay here. Fuck this. And I just left. And that's the only film I've ever walked out from, because I was just pissed off. Because I also did dumb shit, like, they tried to do some different stuff, but it also makes no fucking sense at all, because they decide to change the Robin Hood lore from the medieval times to the Crusades. And I spent like the whole film just being like, wait a minute, what the fuck? What is this time period? Because it's just like, I could see people walking around in like, you know, the whole Holy Land meme guards with the red crosses and the like Knights Templar and that sort of stuff, and I'm like, what is this? And then like Christianity is heavily involved in the film too, and I'm like, what the? I'm so confused. I'm like, I didn't think religion existed at this time. What the fuck? And also just dumb other stuff, like there's a minigun arrow firer, and this is like 10 minutes in the film. But basically, the opening of the Robin Hood film as well is, imagine something like Zero Dark 30, except the only thing you change is the fact that instead of they have guns, they have bows. Like, it's literally shot exactly like it. And it doesn't work, it's terrible. But yeah, back to fucking Hellboy. You know, they obviously went pretty hard deep on some of the lore and stuff as well, but they introduced so many characters at once. And I'm just gonna spoil shit because I don't give a shit. Like, one of the first, like, beginning parts of the film is, like, Hellboy just gets called out to the UK, and then to hang out with the Osiris Club, which is an old sort of timey resistance of people that would kill and hunt giants. And they need Hellboy's help because, even though they've been slaying giants for centuries and literally like 1,000 years or something, whatever it was, I don't know, I wasn't paying that much attention. They literally say, 1 giant we could take, 2 giants we could take, but 3, might get a bit iffy. And even Hellboy's just like, okay, sure, I'll help, I guess. And then immediately, like, when he goes out there, they betray him and try to kill Hellboy because, demon spawn. But then they weren't lying about the 3 giants, and they just kill the entire Osiris Club anyway. And then injured Hellboy just kills the 3 giants as well, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? This is so bad. There was parts where I was literally laughing out and just cringing. And I could hear other people too just like scoff and just like, wait, what? It was... it got me so fucking riled up at how shit it is, and I hope it doesn't make its money back, and people learn that they don't see this shit. Oh my lord! Oh, that was another fucking plot point that pissed me off too, is that the whole opening of the film is setting up like the King Arthur lore and how it intertwines with Hellboy, and how like there's this evil witch that brought upon the demons to mortal realm, but then King Arthur cut her up into 7 pieces and then sent his knights to hide them across the continent in places that man will never find. And then immediately the beginning of the film, there's like this weird like boar demon thing, and he just finds all 7 with no fucking any sort of hassle at all. Like, they made such a big thing of, like, make sure no one will ever find them, and no man will set foot or bring them all together. And the boar's just like, well, got them all. No fucking problem at all. And I'm like, why? Why did you even bother? Oh, the script is just so bad. It hurt my everything. But from one bad film to a good film, I saw Endgame 2 days ago as of recording, which is the 26th today, because time zones are cool, and we get Marvel films like a day or 2 earlier than the US for some reason. Don't know why, that's just how it's been for like the last 5 to 6 years for some reason, and I ain't complaining because, holy shit, I got super lucky avoiding all of these goddamn leaks and spoilers. Like, it's literally only today that I've just suddenly encountered like a giant wave of like spoilers and stuff. Apparently there was a press screening of Avengers Endgame, and some cunt literally filmed the ending on his phone and then spread it around the internet. So it's literally a gif of like one of the biggest plot points of the ending of the film that's just floating around Facebook and shit. And there was even just like a meme of just like things that I hate, and then it's just like in the bottom corner it just has like 4 giant plot points of Endgame, and I'm like, whew, that was fucking close. And I'm only saying this today, so I somehow fucking avoided it all. Probably helps that the whole day leading up to it, I just did not check social media at all, pretty much. But my lord, it was a fucking ride of goddamn emotions, dude. And like, not gonna lie, I welled up at quite a few scenes throughout the film. And I mean, I'd hope so, with the culmination of 21 films leading up to it at this point, and like 11 years of cinema. And also, it has no post-credit scene, so if you haven't seen this, I'm also not going to spoil it as well, so you can... I'm not a cunt. It has no post-credit scene. I mean, the epilogue of the film is basically a post-credit scene anyway. But it doesn't go out of its way to, like, overly set up the future of the franchise as well. Which is good, I guess. I mean, you don't want... I mean, literally everything was leading up to this. I suppose you don't really want just like, now on to the next one. But I can imagine that's probably when going to be Homecoming is anyway. But also, I recently learned today that the whole reason why there's only Spider-Man that's like been announced officially and the trailer's been out is because that, as most people know, that Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, but Marvel did like a joint deal with Sony that Marvel get the creative rights and production to Spider-Man. However, Sony owns and can distribute it however they want, and also Disney gets the merchandising stuff. But Sony having the distribution rights, they decided that they're going to put out the trailer, even though Marvel's just like, no, please don't, because that kind of ruins the fact that, you know, he survives Infinity War and stuff. And Sony's just like, fuck you, we can do what we want with our part of the deal. And so, yeah, Marvel wanted to keep that under wraps, but Sony's just like, nah, fuck you, mate, we're going to do what I want, because we still have the rights, kind of. Yeah, so that was hilarious. But, nah, yeah, dude, if you haven't seen it, please go do. It's fucking 3 hours, so make sure you goddamn strap in. I did not last the entire time. I had to go pee-pee, like 2 hours into the film, because I was really parched, and as much as I didn't want to take a drink in, I kind of had to, because I was really goddamn parched. But yeah, that's pretty much my entire day that day was just like leading up to it, make sure no internet, make sure no internet, and then just, yeah, a 3 hour long film. And I probably will go see it again, because, I mean, Jesus, dude, it's amazing. But, yeah, I don't know where else to go with that, apart from not spoiling it, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, just be careful of spoilers, dudes. If you haven't seen it already, try and go see it as soon as you can. Because there are people that are just straight out cunts. Like the one page that like has been posting the spoilers literally all day today. And people in the comments are like, what the fuck, dude? And he's just like, meh, fuck you, superhero filming is shit. It's like, alright, cunt, but yeah, it's one of the most profitable, if not the most profitable franchise in the history of cinema. There's a lot of people that enjoy it. Don't be a fuckwit. So I just unfollowed the page. And I just don't want to deal with that kind of shit, to be honest. But yeah, what else have I been doing? Oh yeah, so also next week I'm actually going to be going to IEM, which if you don't know is like a big esports event down in Sydney. This was very last minute, and a huge shout out to my mate Core, who I'm not going to disclose any details of the stuff, but he invited me out to the event next week. And we're going to be moving around quite a lot, which is, I mean, also hilarious that I'm going to a fucking CS, like, esports event when I'm a fucking Silver 2 and I, like, haven't properly played since, like, this charity stream for, like, a week leading up to it. And I spent so much money on fucking tickets and everything else. But it's going to be such a fucking good, like, experience, because I also... Oh, Jesus, I don't know whether I, like, drank the water too much or something, but I'm, like, bloated. The fuck? Yeah, this is going to be the first time that I've ever traveled on a plane, like, interstate by myself, which is also going to be a whole new experience for me, so I've been trying to do as much research as I can for, like, you know, regulations and everything, because even something like, you know, I watch Sir Casey Neistat every now and then, and, you know, you'd watch the shit with him trying to bring his booster board on the plane. And that's how I learned about battery regulations and how you can't have over a specific watt-hour size battery on a plane as well. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to make sure that my power bank is like just under the max capacity that I can take, so I'm fucking set with that. But also something as dumb as like, I booked it through like Webjet, which is like, I don't know if anywhere else in like the world has that. But someone who's never booked flights before, I'm just like, all right, so it said return, so I'm like, okay, I'll leave this time, and then I go to like go through the checkout, and I'm like, huh, that's weird. Why can't I find like the checkout? Where's that button? I literally spent like 5 minutes, and then I messaged Corey. I'm like, hey, where's the checkout button? I can't find it, and he's like, oh, it's there somewhere. I don't know. You're gonna have to figure it out. And I'm like, that's really weird. Because also there was like after I clicked the flight that I'm leaving and the money that costs, it linked me back to another screen, and it had the flight that I checked like above a list of a bunch of other flights, and I'm like, that's real weird. Why can't I check that out? So I clicked another one of the monetary values on the other times and flights, and then it gave me the total, and I'm like, oh, I had to choose the leaving and returning flight. I'm a fucking retard. So I'm like, fuck, god damn it. So yeah, got that paid for, and yeah, we're gonna be staying in like a hotel together, and it's just gonna be a whole weekend of memes and fucking sick stuff, dude. So I'm going to be there from Friday to like Monday night. I've basically got, even though the event only goes from like Friday to Sunday, I've basically then just got Monday free to roam around Sydney doing whatever the fuck I want. Catching up with some friends over there as well that I'm keen to meet up with, that I've never met before, so that'll be fucking sick boy fresh TM. I don't know what the fuck I just said. But there's also a really dope Star Wars prop exhibit down in Sydney that I've been dying to see since it got announced. So I'm definitely fucking going to that, because there ain't going to be any time soon again that I can imagine that I'm going back down to Sydney. So I'm going to hit that shit up, and I'm going to take a dumb fuck amount of pictures for it as well. But yeah, if anyone, like, you know, is a regular traveler or anything like that, has like tips or anything for traveling by yourself, or just, you know, even just normal like tips and tricks for traveling by yourself, or, you know, anything like airport like hacks and shit like that, please let me in the comments down below, because it'd be very much appreciated. Because, you know, my life is a meme and I stumble through it all, and I don't know how I got here, to be honest. Oh my lord. But yeah, that'll be that. So I'm probably going to make a video about it. I don't know what. I'll take some of my gear with me. I'll probably just be memeing it up and being really shit at CS down there. Who knows? I might pull something out my ass and kill a member of FaZe or something. Who knows, dude? But I do want to get a video out. Probably either... I want to get a video out this week as well. So there is... Because I also try and at least space a video between podcasts. I don't want to have a podcast to like back to back without any other uploads in between. So that's why like sometimes it takes a break between like weeks, because I'm like, I want to make a video but I don't know what. I want to make a podcast but I don't want to double it up, and I'm like, shit. So yeah, I might even just make a green text video because I want to make something but I don't know what. So yeah, if there's a green text video, it means that I don't know what to make, so I'll just make one of those. Even though, yeah, obviously, like I've said many a fucking time, oh, good meme, Mr. Green Text doesn't make green text. Yeah, still don't really know what to do about that, lol. But, yeah, I don't know, dude. I'll just probably, like I said, I'll probably just make green text to do in between, put something. Or even I'll just have, like, some content scheduled while I'm away next week. But yeah, I don't know. Might even record a podcast while I'm down there with Core. I don't know. We'll see. I'm taking my gear. Who knows? Yeah, so that's that. But another story I have is another weird encounter with people that I seem to have so often. Don't know fucking why. But as I said earlier in the podcast, I watched Scott Pilgrim for the first time. And I watched it around my friend's house yesterday. And they got this really fucking dope like outside theater where they've just got these giant pieces, the giant like wooden frame in their backyard, and like a projector and a projector screen and some like a nice sound system they can just wheel outside and just hook it up to the laptop, and bang, they've got fucking Netflix films or whatever the hell else they want to watch. And it was fucking dope on that giant screen. But yeah, like I said, good fucking film, really nice stylistic. Don't know how I hadn't seen it at this point. Many people had asked me my opinions on the film, and I'm like, hadn't seen it. And they're like, what the fuck? How have you of all people not seen it? And I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, finally got around to seeing that. And, you know, after we finished, we were all packing up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm about to take my friend home as well. And as everyone else is leaving, my friend walks down the driveway and then like 180s and walks back up. And she's like, there's a man at the end of the driveway. And I'm like, what do you mean there's a man at the end of the driveway? So yeah, I walk around the corner down the driveway beside the house, and there's just a dude standing there at like 9:30, 9:45 in the middle of the dark. Can't see his face or any of his body. And I'm like, what the fuck? And at this point, my friend had already gotten in the car as well. And so I go tell my friend whose house it is. I'm like, Anon, there's a man at the end of your driveway just standing there. She's like, what do you mean? Obviously, like, my reaction as well. So she walks around the side, and then she turns on her, like, phone flashlight, and then, like, to shine it in his face. And she's like, hello, can I help you? And then I just hear, oh, really nice house. Did you know that I built it? 1999. It's just like, cool. And it's obviously like being caught out, like looking at this fucking house or whatever the hell it is. After like he fucking waves to everyone else as well. And then he just goes on and he just says, oh yeah, you know, I put up the whole retaining wall and the sleepers and everything else. Did you know that? And she's like, oh yeah, cool, I guess. And also I could see this dude, he had his like hand against his chest, which looks like he had like some sort of beer or some sort of beverage in his hand, which also not a good impression to make to someone as well. and again, my friend's like, oh, cool, I guess. And then he's just like, oh, is that skylight still in the kitchen? That was a pretty good feature. And she's just like, yeah, it is. It's really cool. She's like, oh. And then to see the fucking dude like kind of turn his body and then just go, oh, you don't even fucking appreciate it. And then you immediately see my friend just like, yep, I'm fucking locking all my doors now, bye. And she just like immediately like turns around and just like makes like the giant biggest like poker face, and then just like walks up to me and just like, yeah, can you like leave please so I can immediately lock the gate. And my friend's just like, what is going on, because they're still in the car at this point, they don't know what's happening. And I'm like, there's a dude just at the end of the driveway saying how he built this house. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I'll get going, and I'll leave you here, I guess. Call the cops if he hangs around. And so between the point of me immediately getting in the car, reversing, and just keeping the headlights on my friend as she shuts the gate and fucking locks it, we reverse back out, just had a fucking stroke. We reverse back out onto the main road, and the dude's fucking gone. I can't see him anywhere. I put on my literal, like, high beams, and I can't see the cunt anywhere. So I'm like, well, that was fucking weird. And, like, the whole way home, the whole way back to my friend's house, I was dropping off, we're just like, what the fuck just happened? And then I started to think about it a bit more, and some certain things. One, where the fuck did this cunt go? Is he hiding in the bushes? Is he going to rape them all? Is he going to kill them? Because either he fucking walked down from somewhere because he lives locally. And it's like, oh, I'm gonna go fucking check out the house that I built in 1999, fucking 19 years, or 20 years ago at this point. Or this guy is just like driven down to this house or just with the same mentality, which, you know, already bad look because he's got the beer in his hand, probably. I don't know. I couldn't see because it was dark and and couldn't see the dude at all. Two, we only noticed him because we were walking down the driveway to leave. The gate was wide open. How long was this cunt standing there? Did he walk in? Did he see us? Did he walk back out and wait for us? Did he go through our shit? Who fucking knows? We wouldn't have seen because we were too busy watching the fucking film in the backyard, all on goddamn blankets and chairs. Oh, and the more we thought about it, the more fucking freaked out we got, to be honest. But, you know, it's obviously the next day at this point, and, you know, they're not dead or murdered or raped at this point, so I assume that they're all fine. And it's just, who does that shit, dude? Like, he obviously had to be drunk. There's no fucking way, honestly. But, like, you know, I'll give you a fucking pass if it's during the day, like 3 p.m, you knock off work or whatever the fuck, or you're passing in the area. Oh, you know, I could even like give you a pass if you knock on the door and just be like, hey, do you know I built this house? Da 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 da. Possibly. But don't fucking rock up to someone's house at 9:30 at night on a fucking Thursday. Just been like, hey, did you know I built this house? And you don't fucking appreciate it. Like, you don't think that's gonna fucking ring some bells in someone's head that's just gonna be like, that makes me the uncomfortable, dude. Holy shit. Oh, I need another drink. Fucking hell. Yeah, just again, the more we fucking thought about it, the more we're just like, dude, oh, what the fuck was that? So yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with all these like dumb and awkward and creepy encounters, but you know, that's my life, so I guess I gotta deal with it somehow. Alright, it is now time for that part of the podcast, the most autistic part of the podcast, some would say, and that is of course where I answer questions from a bunch of you cunts. So if you want to send any questions, queries, any topic recommendations, or you know, if you got a story or life advice that you'd like me to share or answer, you can either put in a question in the GreenCast channel in my Discord, which link will be in the description down below, or you can email me if you want to remain more anonymous and don't see other people asking the question, or you know, got a name you want to censor out or whatever the fuck else. You can email me at the email on screen, mrgreentex@gmail.com. That's Mr. Greentex with an S on the end of that, because people forget a lot, surprisingly. Alright, so let's see. Star asks, what's your favorite type of cheese? Now, I wouldn't say that I'm a cheese connoisseur by any fucking means at all, to be honest, because I probably can't even remember the names of the cheese that I've eaten, to be honest. I'd say probably cheddar is probably my favorite. I don't know. But, oh, that's a fucking weird, like, thing. Back in, I think this is also very much an Australian thing as well, but in Australian primary schools, in a bid to try and make kids more healthier, they introduced this thing called Munch Crunch, where early in the morning, I think like between like first and second period most of the time, you were allowed to eat in class, but only allowed to eat fruit or vegetable. And for some reason, I was going through a phase where I really liked fucking cheese, and I managed to convince my teacher to allow me to bring in a slice and block of cheese, and I just fucking munched on some cheese in the morning in class. Don't know what fucking type of cheese that was, but that was fucking lit. But yeah, I like cheese. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that cheese savvy, or even, you know, down enough to really remember names of cheeses, I guess. All I know is that fucking piece of shredded cheese, whatever the fuck that is, that's in like the maroon bag from Coles. Australians know what I'm talking about. These are not good questions. Oh, I've answered this one before, and I always think about this question, but I never have anything ready. Kaiser William Z II asks, what are the main YouTubers you watch? Alright, so my most favorite YouTubers, in no particular order, in no particular ranking, love all the shit that Lewis Spears does. He's another Australian comedian that I totally didn't steal the opening of this podcast off. He's an Australian comedian. He does stand-up and everything. He's got a banging YouTube channel. Go check out his latest video on Marxism, the Marxism conference, because it's hilarious. Love all Luke Kidgel stuff as well. He does the same thing, except just not as consistent, I guess. Go check him out. Probably may not even do a podcast with him eventually. Love all Gus Johnson stuff. Fucking love that Mimi boy. PewDiePie, of course, which, you know, how are you on YouTube if you're not watching PewDiePie at this point? Linus Tech Tips I always fucking get around because I'm a fucking nerd. Isaac Butterfield, another Australian comedian. Frenchie, another Australian comedian. Maximofo and all these Pokemon stuff is another one that I get around a lot. Cow Choppers, unfortunately, oh, man, fucking Cow Chopper fallen from fucking grace. I think I've recommended them every time, but you know what? I'll still recommend them because at least it's not what happened with the creatures when main people left. Let's see, who else? Auntie Donna, they're an Australian comedian group. Fucking love all their shit. Which also, hilarious fact about them, Auntie Donna YouTube channel has actual funding from our Australian government through a film program called Screen Australia. So our tax money is going to this comedian's group. So, you know, tax money well spent. Not that I pay taxes. Yeah, next YouTuber. Let's see what else we fucking got here in my recently watched. Yep. Love Star Wars 3 stuff. He seems like a pretty cool dude. JonTron, of course. Funhouse, I don't know, I go through waves of like liking and like not caring about Funhouse, but I recently watched some of their other latest vids, and then I just remembered like why their channel is so fucking great. Like, it's just, they have some like quality banter that I think like a lot of other channels are missing, and especially like Cow Chop, for example. Like, as much as they meme each other and like destroy shit, like it's quite obvious that Funhouse and everyone there and all their main personalities are all actually friends with each other, and they just have great chemistry and bounce off each other really well. And also probably Adam Savage's Tested channel. I fucking cannot get enough of that sort of shit. As a maker myself, it's like actual porn to me. So yeah, that's some of my main channels that I watch, and also recommendations that you should go check out as well. I got two of the same question here, and I'll just read them both. Koali D Bear asks, do you have a missus? And then Potato Boy just says, does Mr. GreenCast have a missus? Do I? I don't know. I might have next week. We'll fucking see. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Sorry to blue ball you cunts, but yeah, that's all I'm fucking saying. Am I really gonna read this? I guess so. What even? How do you pronounce his fucking name? YOLO. If I butcher it, I don't care. Sammy married to Divine. Oh, that actually wasn't that bad at all. And he says, opinions on cock and ball torture. No, is my opinions on cock and ball torture, I think, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not that, how do I put this? Sexually experienced? And I don't think I'm starting with cock and ball torture, to be honest. Yeah, the thought of me pee-pee and balls getting squeezed does the opposite of turning me on and makes them fucking go back inside me, so there's my opinions. And then, what is with all these? Immediately, the next question underneath is from the Mr. Player 1234, and he says, have you ever considered eating ass, fam? What is this shit, dude? Considered eating ass. Well, see, the problem is, I haven't had an ass to be able to eat before, is the thing, but also, like, it, you know, I don't think I would eat ass. I mean, also, if I were to eat ass, I'd want to make sure that said ass was very clean, because the last thing I want is a bit of poo-poo touching my tongue when I'm... What am I saying? I'm not... What the fuck is this thing, dude? Oh! It's also kind of a little bit gay, but fuck that. Yeah, I'm not going into that more. Yeah, that's all I'm going to read, because the rest of the questions are shit, to be honest. Yeah. Fucking hell, dude. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it for this week. If you somehow made it the whole way through this, like, 40-minute long podcast, be sure by letting me know in the comments down below by including somewhere the word ass. What's... Oh, fuck it, oh well. Yeah, do you have a nice ass? Is there someone's ass that you appreciate? Are you an ass man? I don't know, let me know. And if you include the word ass, I'll give you the little fucking heart thing. How about that? So yeah, again, if you want to leave any questions, comments, topic recommendations, or you want to share a story that I think I might enjoy, bung it in the Discord or email me at mrgreentext@gmail.com, and I will catch you later. I can't.